Hi, this is Harry from Biofeedback Resources International, and I wanted to talk to you today about the emWave Pro Plus. I was actually introduced to what we know as the emWave many years ago, and it's the original model was called the Freeze Framer, and I was at a conference and met Carol Thompson of HeartMath there, and she demonstrated the freeze framer at that time, and I was pretty excited about it and how quickly you can see reactions and changes of based on changes of breathing and emotional state and so on in the heart rate. And so I took it back right away and was showing it to or talking to Adam Crane, who was my boss at the time, and trying to explain it to him. And it took me a while to get him to kind of buy into it. He was an expert in biofeedback and used to working with EMG, temperature, skin conductance, respiration, heart rate, and EEG during those years. And this was something new, and it just seemed like a fad or something at the beginning. But he got into it, and many of the other people that I worked with for many years also had a similar reaction, but once they got into it, they were pretty excited. Since then, it's been a pretty integral part of what we do and what we teach and so on, using heart rate variability with other instruments, but with the HeartMath product, the emWave, or at that time it was Freeze Framer, but now the emWave, the newer model, has been pretty exciting. So we've been using it for a long time, and it's a product that has been useful for both professionals and non-professionals. It's designed in a way to be easy to use, so non-professionals can use it at home for relaxation and training and so on. And one of the sort of criticisms has been that it's being used by professionals, but there's some things about it that maybe are not as useful for professionals, and some of that had to do with the lack of medical type statistics and data that could be reported on. So this new product, the emWave Pro Plus, fixes a lot of that, and part of what it does is it gives statistics that can be compared, and it includes two assessments. So the first assessment is an assessment that is like a baseline recording. So you have the person just breathing normally, and you can run it for anywhere from a minute up to, I believe, 99 minutes, which normally wouldn't run that long, but you can use it for various types of purposes. So one would just be a pre-training baseline to see where a person's heart rate variability numbers are when they're just breathing normally and not doing anything special. Also, there can be applications for sort of health assessment types of recordings, just to see what the readings are at baseline. Some people are using it for things like performance training, working with athletes and so on, and just seeing one measure that they can get is the heart rate variability data. And I've seen in some situations where they're using that to figure out when it's more ideal for people to train, or how much they should train, or certain days maybe it's better for them to go harder than other days based on their levels. So these are a lot of different applications it can be used for. So you do this one baseline assessment recording, and so let's say you do it for 5 minutes. That's one recording. Then there's the other assessment that allows you to record for a minute with the person doing paced breathing. And so when they're doing paced breathing, you're able to see how well they're able to follow, and also when they are doing the paced breathing, what their heart rate variability statistics are during that time. That also can be used to assess their improvements over time. So this is a big improvement, a big addition to the emWave Pro software. This emWave Pro Plus software gives you these assessments and makes the program a lot more useful clinically, and gives you professional looking reports that are including lots of the types of heart rate variability data that we're used to seeing from other professional level systems. So it's definitely something that I would strongly recommend. It's only another $200 to add the assessment functioning on. So if you already have an emWave Pro system, it's $199 to add the assessments to turn it into a emWave Pro Plus. If you don't have a system or you want an additional system, the whole thing with the hardware and software is $499. So it's a pretty good deal. You get the hardware, which is the USB stick that you're used to that plugs into the computer, and then you get an ear sensor that will connect to the person. You can get an optional finger sensor as always for another $25, and you get the software with the assessments built into it. So check it out. I'm going to do a demonstration. I just wanted to give this sort of intro. I'm going to do a demonstration, take a look at the demonstration, see how the assessments work, and give us a call. Let us know if you want to try it out. You can reach us on the phone, 914-762-4646, or you can email us, info@biofeedbackinternational.com, or if you want to get directly to me, harry@biofeedbackinternational.com. Toll-free number is 877-669-6463. Give us a call, send us an email, visit our website, biofeedbackinternational.com, and check out the emWave Pro Plus. I think you'll like it. It's a good addition. And here's the demo. Hi, this is Harry from Biofeedback Resources, and many of you probably have already used and maybe own the emWave Pro. This is a device that, let's see, I actually have the ear clip on my ear now, and this is the device that actually plugs into the USB port on your computer. So I'm going to plug that back in, and it runs with the software. It runs on a PC or a Mac, and it's been very good and popular product for doing heart rate variability training. It does not include respiration, but you can see the results of changing the breathing on the heart rate. They've added what's called the emWave Pro Plus, which the main difference here is that it has assessment capabilities built into the software, and so I wanted to just show some of that to you. So I'm going to just show the screen. There's two assessments that it includes, and this is something that can add to the usefulness of this software and hardware as well. And it gives you ability to have some reporting and some way of looking at improvements or lack of improvements over time, and getting baselines on people. So it makes it more clinically useful. So let's take a look at it. Okay, here I'm starting up the software. This is your basic screen that you're probably used to seeing, and normally we would go in here to start a recording. This would start the calibration at the bottom of the screen there. You'd see the pulse there on the top graph. You see the heart rate starting to be plotted here. This will go away and be replaced with an accumulated score graph. On the right side here you see the coherence ratio, low, medium, and high, and the least desirable pattern is to have 100% on the low. The most desirable would be to have 100% on the high, the green. Over here you have a pacer. You can use this for helping the person see how fast they should be breathing. You can inhale as it's going up, exhale as it's going down. Of course, while I'm talking, I'm not doing that well. Let me just give it a little while of just being silent and breathing to see if it improves. You can also see those red marks within that graph on the top of the screen. Those are indicating artifact. So that was when I was moving around and the sensor loses the signal for a short time, and that's just showing that that had happened at that point. Okay, so that's showing some changes there, and that's kind of how it works. We're getting a little bit of artifact because I'm moving around more than usual during this recording. But let me just stop this here because most of you have already seen that part of the software, and I'll just quickly go to one of the games here. We'll go to the garden game. And in this one, you get this image that starts out gray and not much detail. And as you're training, if you are doing well where the coherence is either on blue or green, then the picture will fill in more color and detail. And it just continues on like this with more and more detail. This particular game goes on for 3 minutes. So I'll just stop it there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here with you. We can go back. We could try another game. This is the balloon game. And with this one, this balloon should rise and go through different areas. You have different scenery and so on, and the more you're increasing the coherence, which is related to the heart rate variability. So if you have blue or green, the balloon is going to rise and move faster. If it's red, it's going to move slower and go lower and lower on the screen. This is a 10-minute game, and the goal here is to get through to the end of the scenery and the finish line in the shortest amount of time. So the maximum amount of time you're given is 10 minutes. The faster you can get through there, the better. Relaxing, breathing slowly and deeply, and positive imagery helps to get you through faster. And of course, as I'm talking and not really breathing and relaxing as much, I get the response where the balloon goes slower. So that's an idea of how that game works. That's enough with the games. We'll go back here. And the real thing that I kind of wanted to show you here is the assessments. So this is one of the assessments. It's a 1-minute HRV deep breathing and HRV assessment. So you're supposed to have the person's date of birth and so on, gender in here. That helps it to be more accurate with the stats that it gives at the end. So you have your 1-minute HRV deep breathing assessment and your HRV assessment, which can be 2 minutes or more. So we'll do the 1-minute deep breathing. Well, actually, let's do the heart rate variability assessment first. So we're going to select that. We can decide how much time we want for this. This is set for 3 minutes. I'm going to make it 2 minutes. And I will start here. It says up here, breathe normally. So I will be doing that. On the bottom of the screen, it's showing the pulse. On the top, it's showing beats per minute and heart rate. And that little circle there below the leaf, it has the blue filling in, is showing how much time is elapsed and how much time is left in the recording. Now we're about half done. And the sensor that we're using in this case is the ear sensor. It's on my earlobe. There is a optional finger sensor that you can use instead. If you don't have one, that sensor is $25 to add. You can just order one of those and you can use that instead if you prefer. For instance, if someone has a lot of earrings and it's just easier to put a sensor on their finger, that might be better. And you notice the big change there in the reading on top. That was probably when I was talking. Alright, so the recording is finished and we have here the finished product. These are markers here that are saying there was probably artifact during those points, which is fine. So now we can, besides looking at the graph, we can look at a report. Okay, so I clicked on edit, and now if I see this, it says click to delete this data point. So I can click there and it will delete that data point. Click to delete data point. Okay, so we're clicking and just kind of deleting some of these data points that maybe don't make that much sense. These are sort of outliers that could have something to do with an artifact. Let's just say we leave it at that. Whatever editing we want to do, we save it, and then we can do our report. And we get all of these statistics. We've got the duration, number of RR intervals, mean heart rate, mean interbeat interval, SDNN, RMSSD, total power, very low frequency, and high frequency. Then we have the low frequency to high frequency ratio and the normalized coherent percentage. And all of these statistics are actually explained in the software. You have a information on what all of these statistics are, so you can get all the definitions, and you can save this as a PDF. So we can just put HC test report. You can save this as a PDF, and then you would have that available as a report. Alright, now I'm gonna say I'm done. Now I can go back, and now I can do the 1-minute HRV deep breathing assessment. It's a 1-minute deep breathing challenge test to determine range of vaguely mediated heart rate variability. So it's basically to see when you breathe deeply how it affects your heart rate variability. So press the button to start, and you're going to breathe as deeply as you can comfortably. Inhale when the white ball rises, exhale when the white ball drops. Okay, so once again, you get a graph here. If you want to edit it, you can edit it. I'm not going to edit this time, but you could take out points that you feel don't belong in there because of artifact. And then you can go to your report, and here you would have your statistics, the mean heart rate, mean interbeat interval, mean heart rate range, SDNN, and then you have RM, SSD, and the normalized coherence. Okay, and probably because I didn't do artifacting, it's saying that if there were values that were out of range, it might be because of that. We can save it as a PDF. Alright, we could save that, and then we have that as a PDF. And that is the main thing I wanted to show you on that. Now, another thing that we can do, let's see if we get back out of here. We can go to View, and if we go to HeartMath Library, here is where we can get information on all these things. So you've got emWave Pro Plus Tour. emWave Pro Plus features. It shows the 1-minute HRV deep breathing assessment, the measures, the glossary. So showing some of these things that maybe you didn't know what they meant. You have definitions for what all these things are. Alright, so you can really understand what these numbers mean when you look at the statistics in the reports. And this is some of the stuff that the basic software did not give you. You had really basic displays and reports. Now you can get something where if you do training, you can do a assessment recording and get the additional details here that are going to be much more useful clinically, and if you're sharing data with anyone, it will be helpful to see that. It talks more here about assessments and so on, and that is really what I wanted to show you here. Instead of just having a really nice training tool, you have a assessment tool that you can use, and you can get nice reports that are going to be useful with data that will be understood by people that you would be working with in healthcare, in medicine, and also just for yourself to be able to assess changes over time and baselines with people. So if you already have a emWave Pro and you want to add this capability, you can just get a software update. If you don't have a system at all and you want to get the whole thing, then you would just order the emWave Pro Plus. These are listed on our website, biofeedbackinternational.com and mindbodydevices.com. If you already have a emWave Pro or emWave Desktop, the add-on price is $199, and you just get the software update. If you don't have a system or you want an additional full system that has this capability, then the price is $499. So if you want to just call up and order one, you can do that. The phone number toll free is 877-669-6463 or 914-762-4646. And if you want to order on the website is biofeedbackinternational.com. That's biofeedbackinternational.com. If you want to send me an email, my email is harry@biofeedbackinternational.com. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions, give us a call or send us an email. Thanks.